Crack open that bottle of wine. Grab your favorite glass, pour a couple of fingers of scotch in it. Get that stick, light it, and blow. It's time to hang with Steel Sharpened Steel After Dark.
Hey, Sharpies. How are y'all doing? You see, we got the little After Dark special effects. I got the little light show playing in the background. And we have Joy on the other side of the world. You can tell it's a lot later in the morning than it is for me because it's still dark as hell out here. But it's still like daylight. How are you doing, Joy?
I am doing well. I am doing excellent. Life is good. How about you, Tom?
Life is good as well. We are doing a special pre-recorded episode this week because we didn't want to leave you out there. But Friday sucks for both of us this week. So we're kind of getting it in right now. Mm-hmm. And we thought we might do kind of a special episode of what we see when we're scrolling through social media. We're sure a lot of these clips are things that you have probably also had seen, but these were things that kind of jumped out at us. And we thought it might be fun to share with you some of what we see when we're preparing for the show.
Exactly. See, what y'all don't know is most of the time we have like a running chat for the host of the show, and we drop stuff in that chat all the time. And then we try to filter like, okay, we can put this on the show. Let's not put this. And sometimes there's so many things that we're like, we don't have time to show these 35 clips at the end of what's already going to be an hour and a half show. So today is all clips, all the stuff that we've seen, like we're getting it in today since we can pre-record. And so this is our first potentially annual reaction show.
It is a reaction show. And so
you've seen us do some of this on other shows where we pull up a video and we kind of talk through it. But this is just that. There's probably some news that's going to happen. Shout out to the Chiefs who pulled it off at Super Bowl. So we got a little bit of Super Bowl stuff. But this isn't a political show. This is the After Dark show. We are just kicking it. We are just having fun. And so we wanted to bring some things to you that we thought you might not have had seen it before. So,
or even if you've seen it, it's still funny, and we're gonna.
It is still funny. It's absolutely funny, and so that's what we are going to do now. The first thing that we are going to try to do is something that we showed last week, and we enjoyed it so much when we did it last week that we want to show it again. And that is Sister Girl, who is singing the names of the notes in the chord. So we're going to kick off this special social showcase show with the Face Girl.
Fabadoo, it goobadoo, it gay, the fuck, dead for gooba, sexy.
I love that so much. Can I tell you that I've been going around, because I say the fuck like all the time. And so now I sing it. Somebody's like, hey, can you do this for free? The fuck. And what's funny is I don't know the letters to the chords. And so when I sing the rest of it to my friends, like, have you seen this thing? It's like, face. Then I'm like, yabba dabba, kaboo the fuck. And those are the only two I know.
Yeah. Sexy.
I love her face too.
Yeah, no, we're gonna give her one more just in case you didn't see it. So it's hard to read. But the hand on the right hand of the screen, you can see the letters that are the names of the notes in the chords. And that's what she's singing. So the first chord is F-A-C-E, which is why she sings face. All right, so here we go again.
Face, fabadoo, it goobadoo, it gay, the fuck, dead for gooba, sexy.
When she says duh for gooba.
Duh for gooba. Like that's a word. Which is why I be like, yabba dabba, skibee. Because I don't know. I took piano for like a year and a half, but I don't remember none of that. I was 10.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Mhm.
Another thing, I don't know, Joy, if you have something that you want to show, but one of the things that has like just completely dominated my timeline is this dance that there's a Jamaican rap, and
Mhm.
it's all about the gun style, and so there's this thing,
Mhm.
and then there's
The
this
coupe de
thing,
Calais, the
and
little.
then the
It's
and then the
everything.
leg lift and
Now
this
I'm gonna tell
thing.
you. We'll go ahead and show the video, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think after the fact.
All right, here we go. This is Jamaican dance style.
Badness them know a man style. Big Ben spark up and last stick pan Kyle. Bossy boss, go and go run man file beer. We park with from we are juvenile. And we are on the ground. What else? Badness,
Right here,
where
that's
them
me
a
all
say?
day.
And we have up here to set a guy, where them a say? Yeah. Chain it a drip, bad clocks for a foot. We no listen boy, where you chat, where them a say? What else? Badness, where them a say? And we have up here to set a guy, where them a say? Chain it a drip, bad clocks for a foot. We no listen boy, where you chat up, where them a say? We pocket no fracture. We're up to the
That
time,
part,
just
right
like
there.
the watcher. Cologne a thump, just like a boxer. Catch a girl in our net, just.
Now it's something that I've noticed about Caribbean and African continent people that is lacking, generally speaking, in American blacks, and that's that hip isolation. We
Yeah.
cannot do that loose booty hip twerk wine. They're like, and understand that like twerking, American twerking,
booty,
loose
hip,
booty, you know,
twerk line.
that tick that they do. The first time I saw one of my sorors who was from the Bahamas, I saw her tick in a step show. I was like, how does she do that? And I went home and looked terrible in the mirror for like 20 minutes, like, God damn. And I feel like we have been in the culture that we're in for so long that we got stiff. And I don't think we have that inherent loose hip thing that they do. We can do it looking sexual, but we cannot do it looking like a dance
Like
the
a
way they
dance.
do. You know?
Yeah, that's that dirty wine.
Yes.
The dirty
Yes.
wine.
I was out for Mardi Gras this weekend, doing some bus hopping through club hopping through Atlanta, and I stopped in one spot, and they had like soca and island music and everything, and there was a couple of Jamaicans in there, and you know all the videos that we see where the Jamaicans be doing straight up like coming off the top rope.
Oh yeah,
they did that, and I was just watching like, oh my God, this is real. He was holding on to the bar, and he was like,
oh yeah.
And the girl in front of him was holding to keep her hair from bumping into
into the
bar
wall. Yeah.
And pushing it back at him. I was like, why y'all sex fighting in the club?
Not sex fighter.
Sex
Dun,
fighting.
dun, 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 dun. Get ready. Dun, 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 dun. Sex fighter.
Yes. Finish her.
Finish her.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that is wait, I'm gonna show this one more time because as you can see, I've been practicing. I fully intend on doing this dance for a reel because I think I may start. I'm not making enough content for Thomas Talking. And so this is one of those things where it has been on my line so much that I've actually started to learn this.
Badness them know a man style. Big Ben spark up and last stick pan Kyle. Bossy boss, go and go run man file beer. We park with from we are juvenile. And we are on the ground. What else? Badness, where them a say? And we have up here to set a guy, where them a say? Yeah. Chain it a drip, bad clocks for a foot. We no listen boy, where you chat, where them a say? What else? Badness, where them a say? And we have up here to set a guy, where them a say? Chain it a drip, bad clocks for a foot. We no listen boy, where you chat up, where them a say? We pocket no fracture. We're up to the time, just like the watcher. Cologne a thump, just like a boxer. Catch a girl in our net, just.
He's adorable.
Love that.
I got about 30% of that right now.
Well, I'm sitting in a chair. You can't do all the rest of it if you're not up in the thing. But
I wasn't going to stand up and show you how poor my skills were. I was going to let you pretend that I had the bottom half of my body kicking it in the chair.
yet the little leg moves are tougher than you think they are.
Yes.
Trust and believe. I tell you right now, because I have to rub some icy hot in my kneecaps and pop a couple
Before
of
you get
conjointants
started.
before to get that turmeric working for my knee faces get warm. Because otherwise they be looking at me like I be in the chair and my knees be looking at me like, the fuck?
The fuck?
Babadooba. Not
That's my knees when they break.
sexy.
Face, scabba
Yeah.
fuck.
Sabadibba. Okay, so
Not sexy.
I was telling you earlier as we were talking in the chat that I actually met Kev on stage when we were I was going to get something from for lunch, and the spot near my office is called the Village. It's this new mixed, well, not even new anymore, but there's a mall to the north, and then there was the Village, and then there was a mall to the south. But now that mall to the south is being converted into the new Rams training facility. Okay. So this is where they had the Ruth's Chris, they had a Maggiano's, they had a corner bakery, they had a whole bunch of stuff. It was a mini mall at one point.
Yeah.
But the movie theater, my favorite movie theater at the time, 16 screens. But now all of that is done, and they are literally going to put a 9,000 seat stadium in this footprint. And I think right now they're actually filming a movie there. But anyway, I was there to pick up some lunch, and Kev on stage was there. And so when Joy, you could intro this, Joy, because this is really your thing. So go ahead.
You told me that you met him, and he's a really nice guy in person, which doesn't surprise me because he really is a good Christian. He's really funny. And, he's one of them started from the bottom. Now here, he's still on his ascent. And I love this for him. Howsomever, Kev on stage is a damn fool. And when I saw this come through my feed, I was in a meeting, not like, off camera, whatever, luckily off camera and on mute. Because as soon as I was scrolling and I was God damn it, Kevin. Like, that's what I said out loud, because Kevin is a fool. And we got two things that have been ruined. This is the first you ruined it video. But I will say, watching this video, I've never been to Kevin on Stage concert or his comedy show. I was like, you know what? This deserves a ticket. I might buy a ticket for him when he comes to Atlanta, just off the strength of this stupidity right here. And so please let everybody else see this nonsense.
Here we go. First of all, the ham jello.
Right. And where did he get this top?
It's only you.
Don't
laugh in your way.
Don't do this, Kevin.
Friday through Sunday, you can decide.
You can sing, though.
And if you have me, we can provide.
You got the church.
Every laugh that you desire.
Just wait for it. Wait for
get a feeling that I feel.
The arrangement is nice.
Won't you come purchase? All the links in my bio, baby. So you're already thinking about getting your ticket today, baby. I just wanna make you laugh. How does it feel?
Watch it.
You can see the very beginning of the abs.
Right. This is where I was like, God damn it, Kevin.
How does it feel?
Now, it would have been funny if he had actually used the Hawaiian roll.
He even tried to get the angles.
Yeah, he got the little angle cut too. So how does it feel? That's Kev on stage, a very, very funny content producer, hilarious. And so we are very happy to promote him. I too have never seen him in concert, but I really enjoy him as a content producer. And so
he even has his own app out now. I think it's the Kev on Stage app, where they've got like little webtoon series
Okay.
On iTunes and Google. Yeah, just do like Kev on Stage app, and you'll find it.
Yeah, check that out for sure, because he is definitely a person
Yeah, but
that we
definitely follow
enjoy
him. He's a
and
mess.
we support for sure, for sure.
Mhm.
So
Let's
switching gear, go ahead,
so let's
Joy.
do the other You Ruined It.
Yes. Okay. So we're in the show long enough, and so now we are sure that y'all are watching and keeping track with us. This There I Ruined It. This is an actual channel of There I Ruined It, and this is pretty much all this guy does. But when I tell you, you are going to fall out in your chair.
You're gonna be mad.
You're going to be mad, but mad in a good way, because this is absolutely incredible. So There I Ruined It. Take a listen to this. Shout out to Biggie.
To all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes. Who rock crews and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club is where you find me. But let's just kick it, cause one of these honeys Biggie got to sleep with. Keep the ep a secret. Why not? Why blow up my spot? Cause we both got hot.
I hate this so much. And he's right there. I ruined it. Ruined. He has ruined that. The first time I heard it, I literally, like, my shoulders came up like, oh, what are you doing? Why would you do this?
You know, the thing I love about this particular song that he chose is that the One More Chance original song is, to me, now, it's probably some hip hop heads who would disagree, but to me, the original One More Chance song with the real chunky street kind of beat behind it pales in comparison to the One More Chance where Faith is singing and it's all in the club and all of that. And so to hear it now flipped into the Super Mario shit, it is probably my favorite Biggie song ever. That remix is probably my favorite Biggie song ever. And so it doesn't ruin it for me. It kind of brings me back to the absolute mastery that Biggie had of lyric and flow, and just that with that little tinkly doot 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 going background, it still knocks. And so I really did appreciate that. I was glad to have the opportunity to revisit that song. This guy has dozens, if not hundreds, of mashups like this. So if you look on Instagram, There I Ruined It. The channel, and so I think you'll really enjoy it.
And I'm with you. Like, the Faith remix of One More Chance was my standard for that.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've heard like you said, with the heavy bass in it. I've heard the other one. I'm like, that's cute. But this one, the Faith One More Chance. That's the anthem.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's just it. I don't know why you gonna front, how you gonna front and pretend like that's not just the business. So
no. I want to segue into another video that we've already got queued up.
Yeah.
And so earlier we showed the girl singing the chorus, and she was making up words based on the letters that she saw, like "suh-ba-duh," for good, but for the fuck. And so we understand that people can look at letters come up with words that you may not have thought of looking at those same letters. And in that vein, I want to show you a new chicken place that has come out that you may not be aware of, but I heard that they are out here to rival one of the other Cajun spots. Check this out.
People first time eating here at Pope, yes.
What? People still eat at Pope, yes.
They do, but I ain't. We don't do that no more.
Exactly. We cut that out last year.
They better
start going to We In This.
There you go.
Wendy's is now forever. We end this.
We end this.
I'm going. We end this. I'm going to do that. I am going to say we end this the same way I say Tarjay. That is the new name.
That is the new
Wendy's.
thing.
And Pope, yes. You want some Pope? Yes. That's how I'm going to say it.
You know, I do have. There's another thing that I shared that I didn't realize I had shared it until I went into this other thing. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start to download this, and while I'm starting to download it, I'm going to show another clip that we have already queued up. So this is a clip that we just think you will enjoy, and that's why we pulled it up for you. So just watch.
Presented with no comment.
Get your stank breath, buttermilk tea face ass. Cast iron lip, no grease face ass. Dutch oven with no breeze face ass. Turtleneck with no sleeve face ass. Obese with no two-piece face ass. Saints with no Drew Brees face ass. Will Smith with the strong arm and the remainder of Chris Rock's two teeth face ass. Lightyear with no buzz face ass. Crip Walk with no cuz face ass. Lil Wayne with no hair face ass. Can't find the clip like where face ass. Oh, did it come sitting in the tree face ass. O-U-I-E-E face ass. OT party, no T face ass. Big mouth, I'm Yoshi face ass. What I really want to say.
So I'm going to play that again because I want you to appreciate what this brother did. First of all, I give him credit for every piece of production value, from the tight, slow pull out to the fact that, like in the tradition of some of my favorite New Orleans rappers, like Juvenile, he just ends it with face ass. Mm-hmm. He is telling you about yourself and your face ass and how you need to get up out of his face.
Yeah. It reminds me, what was it? Paper Chaser.
Yeah.
Friends, huh? You keep something, and everything was but there was a rhyme within a rhyme. Because without the face ass, it all rhymes anyway, but then the face ass is
the face ass punctuates it. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna roll that back again because this brother is.
Wait, before you roll it back again, I just want to say, I was in a meeting last night. Remember, because you were trying to talk to me when I was in that meeting, and this is absolutely how I felt through the whole meeting. I actually did end up offending a couple of other people in that meeting. And, you know, I don't know if they'll ever see this, but I did say some things that they didn't appreciate. And I would like to tell them, I meant every fucking word, and you can eat a whole bag of penile implants. I stand by what I said. Goodbye. And this is what I wish I'd had to play loudly as I looked them dead in their eyes. That's what I really wanted to do last night. And this touches my soul. I hope somebody that knows them and knows me shows them this so they can understand that I'm talking about you. It was on a Tuesday night and you suck.
This is my default posture for people who try to bring that energy. Yeah. This is my default posture.
If you don't get your stank breath, buttermilk tea face ass. Cast iron lip, no grease face ass. Dutch oven with no breeze face ass. Turtleneck with no sleeve face ass. Obese with no two-piece face ass. Saints with no Drew Brees face ass. Will Smith with the strong arm and the remainder of Chris Rock's two teeth face ass. Lightyear with no buzz face ass. Crip Walk with no cuz face ass. Lil Wayne with no hair face ass. Can't find the clip like where face ass. Oh, did it come sitting in the tree face ass. O-U-I-E-E face ass. OT party, no T face ass. Big mouth, I'm Yoshi face ass.
First of all, the nerd culture drop at the
what
end.
I really want to say.
You gotta know Yoshi.
Yes. You gotta know Yoshi. Yoshi can eat almost anything in the Super Mario universe. That's how big his mouth is. Yoshi and Kirby be some consuming motherfuckers. And so this dude, he said, big mouth. You think you got a big mouth? I'm Yoshi, ho.
What I really want to say.
And he keeps it so deadpan. And the beat knocks so hard. The beat knocks so
I hope they turn this into like a ringtone or something on iTunes. Because, you know, the thing we just showed with the fuck, they've taken everyone a whole lot of people that did remixes of that and made an actual song out of it. that's available on iTunes underneath the producer that put it all together. And I saw the video of all the people that were included, and it was like a collective like love. Most of them probably not getting paid for it. They might have got $1, but they were excited to be on the track. So now they can say, I'm on a track on iTunes. But I think the producer's gonna get all the money for it. But yeah,
well, probably. But I mean, it's still one of those things where just like the I Hate My Ex song, like 6-7 months ago, and it was just like don't ding don't ding don't yo, I hate my ex, and then falling down the stairs and you break your neck.
That should slap. I love this.
Fuck your grandma, fuck your whole damn family.
That shit is great.
That's also how I felt. Yes. So, we have something that's a little more uplifting now. Joy, why don't you rock that? That Wakanda family. Okay. And I'm going to try to find, there's another clip that I know I shared, and I want to make sure, because this brother was just, he's a linguist, but you go on ahead and pull.
So I'll give a little backstory on this to filibuster just a little bit. But so we've been scouring all of our feeds like, okay, I saw this, I saw that. And one of the things that aggravates us to no end is when you're watching something on a reel or TikTok or whatever, you might sneeze, drop the phone, somebody calls you or whatever.
Oh my gosh,
you go away from that video and you can never find it again.
Never.
No amount of searching, no amount of looking for the hashtag, describing what's in it. I'm all on Google. Like, it was the fashion show and the girl in the catsuit, Black Panther something. And we looked everywhere. Cannot find it again. And watch, after this, it'll probably show up in a couple of months. Like, there it is again. Or never again.
For sure.
I'm not even sure it existed at this point because we can't find it. But in my search, looking up Black Panther fashion show, I found something else. I was like, you know what? Shout out to the family, doing all of this because I'm loving the fits. And I decided we're going to show this in the spirit of Black Panther fashion show.
Je vais me tuer. Qui peut être roi?
Hey.
Go ahead, Queen. Yes, ma'am, Ramona. Bring it.
Regarde.
Word.
Work it right out. And that's what we need. We need more representation that is positive.
And I love they kept it all independent. Clearly, this is in the front lobby in their house.
Right. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, Celia West be doing that all the time. And she's like, the world's most famous young model. And all she does is walk down the hall because it's COVID and she couldn't do any more runway shows.
Right.
But I was loving that because, they went out, got them outfits, set it off, and just look amazing. That's not the dance in the Black Panther cancer that we wanted, but it's absolutely the family Black History Month moment that we needed.
Right. Mm-hmm. So speaking of things that got slightly ruined, I'm going to drop this clip in because this dude really thought he was doing something. And the sister in the video was there to remind him that, nah, son, you ain't actually do it like you thought you had did it.
Right.
Check this out.
I got broads in Atlanta.
That baby went from George Jefferson to Jefferson George.
My favorite part of this is the cackle at the end. That is so auntie energy. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. This is short, so we go play it again. This dude really thought, even with the music choice, he really thought he was doing something. Let's look at this again.
I got broads in Atlanta.
Do you? Do you have broads in Atlanta?
That baby went from George Jefferson to Jefferson George.
My thing is, I had to watch this 3 or 4 times to understand what was different.
I think he
looking like, is it
shaved.
the beard, the shave?
I think that's what it is. I think he shaved a little bit because I couldn't
shaved a
see
little
any
bit, and he
difference.
took a little bit off the bowl on the edges.
Maybe
to shape it up, but it wasn't. Don't call it a cut. Call it a shape up, because that's what it was. And what you need to do is call
Don't
your
call it a
barber
comeback.
asshole for not just shaving your head and letting you go on about your business.
It would have been so much better. Nobody's looking for the the Benedictine monk look.
The George Jefferson to Jefferson George.
Jefferson
That is
George.
the best description.
Oh, and she said, "Uh-huh."
I love a good cackle.
She killed him. Oh, she killed him. So we have another video. This is a more serious commentary. This brother I found in my reels. His name is 2 Cent Morrison, and it's easy to go down a rabbit hole with him for real, because he is always sharing a lot of really good wisdom. But in Black History Month especially, I found this to be particularly relevant. And so, he has some hair that he could lend to Jefferson George, but he ain't going to do it. But take a look at Brother Toussaint.
In the United States in less than 60 seconds, I would start with a black woman and her black son receiving a Congressional Medal of Honor for what Senator Cory Booker called forcing America to reckon with its failure to address racism and the glaring injustices that stem from such hatred. This black woman and her black son receiving this medal 19 years after the woman's death and 67 years after the black son's death because he was kidnapped, tortured, and murdered by 2 white men in an act of extreme racial violence. The United States is acknowledging Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, decades after they've passed, and never locking up the people involved with Emmett Till's murder, because Carolyn Bryant, the white woman responsible for the cause of Emmett's brutal torture and lynching, is still alive and free today. The United States, explained in less than 60 seconds, will give Congressional Medals of Honor to black people before they'll hold their murderers accountable.
That is the epitome of performative allyship. We're not going to do the thing that sets a precedent and deters more violence against Black people. We're going to give you a posthumous token of our acknowledgement. Mm-hmm. That's what you get. We're not going to offer reparations for slavery or even hardly admit it happened, but we will give you Juneteenth. You take that? Will that shut you up? That's how they treat us. And that particular video, it touched me because it was such a good description. It encapsulated everything that is wrong with systemic oppression, with racism, with police violence, with mob violence, with white supremacy, all of that. We would rather throw meaningless things at you that mean nothing to you and nothing to me, nothing to your people, than actually deal with the problem. And that, in and of itself, is the problem with America.
And actually, while you were talking about performative allyship, here is an example of what I would consider to be active allyship. This is a white man. Now, don't be distracted by the accent, which is very heavy, but pay attention to what this white man is saying about what is going to be a perfect example of micro or macro aggressions, depending on how you look at it. Mm-hmm. And hear what he has to say.
My fellow white boy, I know you young, but you don't ever touch a black woman's hair, and I'll tell you why. First off, when you do that, you continue the narrative that white people have normal hair and black people do not, which led to microaggressions from white people saying, "Can I touch your hair? Do you use shampoo? Do you even wash your hair?" To black people having to wear their hair a certain way to fit the white beauty standards, to which also led to the Crown Act being passed in March of 2022, last year, so black people could wear their hair naturally and not be discriminated against at work. Also, white people literally put black people in zoo cages and treated them like zoo animals and looked at them and talked about their features for entertainment. So if you're going to date a black queen, know your fucking facts and treat that black queen the way she fucking deserves. My name is Eric Stone. Doses.
I can't place the accent, but I absolutely appreciate what he is saying. And he's 100% right, especially the piece about perpetuating the the stigma and stereotypes that were created through white supremacy of putting us in cages, looking at us as oddities. We are not normal, having to try to conform to white standards of beauty. And if you don't, you're not only ugly, unkempt, dirty, etc., unprofessional. Now you can't get a job. The fact that we have to pass a law to say that I can look like this, this
it's
was
crazy.
unkempt and unprofessional, right? Not even a decade ago, this might have stopped me from getting a job. And the underlying or the undercurrent to all of that, especially with women, is Black, but men as well. Because if you wanted to wear locks, you couldn't wear locks either, etc.
Right.
But Black people who chose to wear their hair naturally at a time where it wasn't a big commercially successful movement. Because the reason a lot of this is being accepted now is because white folks are making money off the products we use. Let's keep that real. But 15 years ago, if you wore your hair like this, it was an act of rebellion and aggression against a white narrative that we're not supposed to do this. It was resistance. And so every time you wear your hair naturally, it was a political move. It was some calculated thing. I just wanted to I didn't want to get cancer. I didn't want to get tumors and growths. And I thought my hair was fine the way it grew out of my head. And saying things to a white society that says I'm not supposed to love myself was an act of resistance and rebellion. See, now the cops are coming for me now. But I love that he recognized that. And if, like you said, if you're gonna date a Black woman, don't objectify her. Don't fetishize her. You know, oh, I love all of this about you. Love my personality, motherfucker. I mean, that's what I expect of a Black man, so I expect it of you too. You know,
right? There was a performance this weekend. I don't know if you watched it, Joy.
I did see it.
So I will say this. People were asking me who you got for the Super Bowl. And I said, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Rihanna is how she prefers it to be pronounced.
Is it really Rihanna?
It is Rihanna. I was, I didn't realize it, but it's Rihanna, which, you know, that's just us trying to make it sound the way we think it should sound. But that's our name, Rihanna. So I was like, no, I got Rihanna. This is a concert with some things going on, some commercials and some footballery going on around it.
They got a football pre-show.
Right. I was highly anticipating the show. Now, if anybody follows me on social media, you'll see that I was less than...
you were underwhelmed.
I was underwhelmed. But one thing that wasn't underwhelming is the fact that, you know, the new baby made a surprise appearance in the Super Bowl. And at first I was like, is that a shadow? Like, or is the jacket just folded weird or something? It was like, oh, she's got that latex breastplate and, you know, that looks fire. And I was like, God damn, like, it's been months. Like, I would have thought her trainer would have knocked that belly off by now. And then I was like, she looks swole. That's like 4-5 months of pregnancy swell. And so, you know, she's full on, she's second trimester pregnant.
She's second trimester pregnant. And she did mention that she might have been bringing a special guest to the show.
I mean, I think people probably thought it might have been A$AP Rocky or any of the people who appeared as features on a number of the songs that she did without having those persons there as features or even having their lyrics played over the sound system. Which, I mean, you saying Drake wouldn't have come to the Super Bowl to be on one of them floating platforms?
She got a restraining order against Drake.
Yeah, I know that's right. So, and A$AP probably would have probably tried to punch Drake dead in the grill, but we knew she wasn't going to have Kanye because, I mean, obviously. But I thought maybe she would have had Jay-Z, but then, you know, probably the Jay-Z and Bey stuff. Anyway, so a lot of people like me were underwhelmed, but there was one person who actually did give a hell of a show. It's just that if you were watching the broadcast, you didn't get a real chance to see her because she was not Rihanna. But take a look at what this sister, Bowie State alum, is doing with the ASL translation of Miss Fenty's lyrics on during the show.
Bruh.
She did all of that. And
I didn't know that there was ASL for blah. I didn't know that was a thing.
But
blah,
see, that's
blah,
the
blah.
thing.
Really?
A lot of these people who do these sorts of interpretations for like rap lyrics, especially and stuff, they kind of create signs. I don't know if blot is actually a sign, but
it is now.
It is now because she made it so. And mind you, she's got the Coco from SWV nails popping off. So like every time she does forgot, I'm like, don't scratch your cornea, sis. Just make sure you keep it in.
Now there were a couple times in there because I'm looking at what she's doing and I'm listening to the words. I was like, "Oh, she vibing right now." She's like,
right
in the backseat up. That's not sign language. That's you. That's you dancing.
Right. But it's a performance.
Right.
And when Robin Fenty is standing up there like looking like she's at a Sade concert, you know, twitching her little foot and stuff, and I was like, okay, it's cute that you did that and all the dancers do it, and then you just kind of lop your head, and I was like, but this isn't really a show. But I could have watched Justina the whole damn set. I wish I had more video of her doing her thing because
she was hyped,
murdering the game, murdering. Thank you so much, Justina. Bowie. Lum, we love HBCUs here on this show, and so we are super duper happy that you got your chance to shine because you really did do the doggone thing.
I was looking for something, you know, like I said, it was on Facebook. One of my friends posted something. I can never find it again. But this morning somebody was talking about Rihanna's performance, and they made some points that I think are worth acknowledging. They were like, you know, Rihanna came out, she did a 15-minute show. She had no opener, she had no guests. She you know, did the whole show by herself. And to your point that I think was an interesting distinction, she didn't even include the rap lyrics of all the people that featured on her song. She's like, we're gonna cut it right here, go to something.
Right.
She did, I think she did 18 songs in 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
15 songs in 13 minutes. But they also pointed out some other things. One, and I didn't really comprehend this, but for her whole empire, she's worth more than Beyonce because she's got. Beyonce is at about 500 million. And so with Beyonce and Jay-Z, it's $1 billion on the elevator, but she could get on the elevator by herself and be $1 billion. And I love that halfway through her performance, she stopped and did the Fenty, like, don't forget makeup line, which all the sales went up immediately after the show. People were like, oh yeah, let me go grab. I had some sitting out here. I put it up. I cleaned up for a change, but so let me go grab some Fenty real quick. And she stepped out there in some sneakers because she's pregnant and her feet are swollen. And I'm sure she was tired. And so, you know, halfway through, they moved to another one of the little platforms and sat down and was like, I'm a bob and do a little bit of this choreography right here sitting down. There was always, if you notice, if you go back and watch, always somebody checking her for balance, for center of gravity, everything. Like, what we're not gonna do is have Rihanna fall from 150 feet up.
One of them cables snap and that thing gives way, and you know, or she's underneath a platform and one of them things knocks her off the stage into some dancers.
She employed half the city as dancers.
I know that's right.
Which I thought
was in the same
awesome.
coat.
Right. And I love that. Like, you have to really pay attention. One of the people that I was chatting with was watching in live time. I don't have live TV, so I saw it like yesterday. But they were saying, like, she got all these people, the dancers, you can't tell who's a girl and who's a boy. And my response to him was, why does that matter? And he was like, because I can't tell which one is which. I was,
but that's
okay, homophobia, who gives a damn? It's all dancers. And she had them all dressed similarly. So there was no sexual objectification of anybody. Either you like abs or you don't. And if you like that set of abs, it don't matter who is on.
Abs.
Right.
Like
everybody
abs.
got their stomach out. Everybody abs. And clearly some of these people, like I said, are from her home country, because they had that tick and that wine and their loose booty.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. In spades.
Again, the loose booty.
Yeah. She didn't have to take her clothes. She showed her body without showing her skin, which I thought was cool. And people were at, like, the chat I was in, they were asking, you know, are you a different chat was like, is she pregnant? And I was like, I don't know, because I didn't see it. But then the minute I saw it, I was like, oh yeah.
She's really pregnant. Yeah. It was the first thing that jumped out to me. Like I said, as soon as I saw the curve, I was like, oh, so she's pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah, and she even rubbed it at one point.
Right. And at the very beginning, I was like, oh, okay, Rihanna coming out here pregnant. And then as the thing went on, and I was like, oh, there's nothing more than this. It's just going to be her on the thing, the elevator going up and down and in the red suit, and everybody else has white on, and nobody
so you
else
can
has
tell where
any
she
other
is.
colors or, so you can see
She's
her.
like, I'm a half-ass this choreography, just so you know, I
Right,
know
exactly.
choreography, but we're not doing full out tonight because I'm pregnant.
We are not, because I'm
That's
pregnant.
another thing that Facebook post pointed out. She was pregnant. She didn't play like any other. She did what any other woman with a job would have done. I'm pregnant, but I'm gonna do my job.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Where
No,
the
she did
sneakers
it.
go- Yeah.
No, I give her credit. I understand. I'm just saying when she was announced as the Super Bowl act, right? Especially after last year, and last year was, I think, there was nobody who would say that wasn't one of the most awesome Super Bowl
Top
performances
10.
ever.
Yeah.
But easily top 10. And this is, I'm a super fan of Prince and the Michael Jackson, and even when Beyonce was on there with,
But even Beyonce had Bruno with her.
that's what I'm saying, and that was still an amazing show because Bruno Mars is a hell of a performer and all these other things. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with having other people in the mix if it's a good show. And so I'm thinking Rihanna, I'm like, okay, so this is really going to be all that. And I was just anticipating and looking forward to something that was amazing. And at the end of it, it's like, I respect it. But it just didn't live up to kind of what I was expecting, knowing that Jay-Z was in charge again and everything else. It just wasn't.
I will say on that front, I did think like if she hadn't been pregnant and had danced a little harder, et cetera, it still might have been a bit one note because it was just her and she did run through all those songs really quickly. I can't say that it wouldn't have been a different show. She might have done something completely different if she wasn't pregnant and could move freely and not have to worry too much about that. Put on some, heels instead of sneakers, et cetera, maybe a different look. I didn't miss the sexuality of it because I thought it was still super sexy. It just wasn't showing a lot of skin. But I would have liked to have seen another featured artist. Like for me, you got to be Prince to perform all by yourself like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And she is not.
Right. But it was a good show. And
it was perfectly fine. It was perfectly fine. And of course she has the hits. It'd be one thing if it's like one of these people who only has 3 songs.
Doja could never, right?
Right. No. Yeah, that's why it's the difference between being able to have somebody who can do a show all by themselves versus having somebody who needs to be a part of 7 other people in order to have a show that would be even moderately enjoyable. So
that's what made last year's show so good is Snoop, Mary J, and Dre could have all done a show by themselves with their own catalog.
Right. And yet you still had what was an amazing performance and 50 and everybody else and all those dancers and yeah, it was just it was a Super Bowl. Yeah. But it was a good game. So unlike a lot of Super Bowls, you had a really good game. And so
a moment of silence. A moment of silence for my Eagles fans. My heart goes out to you. I'm sorry. But it was a good game. I did talk to one Eagles super fan. Actually, James Herndon, who's been on our show before, is an Eagles super fan. Like he used to do a podcast called One Next Fan Up, and he was the Eagles representative for that podcast. We was checking on him like after the show, like, anybody heard from James? James, you good? You all right, bro? And he was like, I'm fine. But his discussion with me about it was, it didn't feel like they got robbed. It was a really good and exciting and close game.
It was.
It is what it is. And he's just a little upset that he doesn't think they're going to be able to come back again next year because they're going to have some change-ups and stuff on the roster. But it wasn't like Deflate Gate or the refs cheated for the other team, whatever. It's just, it came down to the wire and it was exciting to watch. It just didn't cut their way.
Those back-to-back touchdowns that the Chiefs pulled in the fourth
it demoralized the
Eagles. that was not awesome. And I honestly, I was feeling I didn't really have a dog in this fight, but I was really pulling for Jalen just because of the way his team is composed. And so would have liked to have seen him be able to pull it off. But when it comes down to a game that is that close, you can't say you didn't have a good time. And I did have a good time. And it certainly wasn't any entertaining commercials this year, other than, I will say, and it wasn't even like a super great thing, but when Maya Rudolph introduced clam M&Ms, and it was just like, it's so ridiculous. The gritty and chewy clams, and then they, it was all just a gag.
Yeah.
And so that everybody ends up, the M&Ms are back. They made this whole thing about woke, and Maya Rudolph was going to be the new face of M&Ms, and it just turned out to be a joke, which is a very clever thing because, of course, they ginned up a lot of social media heat around all of that. But
all press is good press, right?
All press is good press. So there's one more thing that I'm really, really interested in showing, and it's a very quick one. And I think it might be a good way to end the show since we're coming on an hour, and I actually need to go pick up my son to take him to school since it's 7:30 in the morning my time. This sister is embodying to me what Black History Month is about. And so I just thought she really brought it. And also the wing she's eating looks hella good. So let's take a look at this sister to close out the show.
This man just asked me, was I from Africa? I said I was supposed to be.
Also, may I say, is she not giving Diana Ross like?
She's giving Diana Ross meets Erykah Badu.
Right?
Right. Diana
Badu.
Diana Badu.
Because she even got a Diana Badu with all the hair.
Yes. And then she got the cosmic sun and moon.
She got the cosmic sun and moon and the bodysuit. Mm-hmm. And then when she said supposed to be, and then she ate all of that wing. I really responded to her.
You can tell the way she ate that wing that she only eat flats. Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
and I don't understand that.
Flats for life. Yeah.
I don't understand people who only eat flats. I don't really even understand people who prefer flats. I had a coworker, she called that the breast piece of the wing. I was like, that's not the breast.
Because it's a wing. If anything, it's the tricep.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I'm a drumette person, but I'll eat the flats. I don't turn away none of the chicken when it's put in front of me. Mm-hmm. But to me, the amount of skin you get on flats just doesn't make it, as appetizing to me. But this sister, I'm gonna play it one more time just because it's real short, and then we can ride out.
This man just asked me, was I from Africa? I said I was supposed to be.
That's the most American ever.
I mean, just the flip of the elbow that comes all the way up when she gets that first wing, and then she flip it over. Come on, she doing the damn thing.
Mm-hmm. You're not gonna show this last thing?
I can show the last thing.
Okay,
but
I just like this because this was the energy again.
That's true. This is more Black History Month energy. That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. All right, so we have supposed to be sis, and now we got Mama Ain't Having It.
Right.
Hope you know that.
Okay, well, go ahead.
You really want to lose your job?
Hey, do what you got to do. If you think you can control me having a job, then you go ahead.
Hear me what I say. She got donuts, she got coffee, but she fresh out of time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
She looked at that dude like, do it. I don't know why, but I just feel like she been shot in her pinky toe before.
Shot in my pinky toe. I'm gonna put what's left of my foot in your...
On this morning, he went to Dunkin' Donuts hungry and decided he was gonna get her together and thought that he ate. But he left yet famished. Cue the music!
Another satisfying moment.
Cue the music!
If you think you can control me having a job, then you go ahead.
I'm with that energy. That is my Black History Month mantra. If you think you can control me
having a job,
you go ahead. Yeah.
You go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I am at a Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
You think you're
And
going
based
to get
on the
me
fact that it was
fired?
dark outside, she's
Right.
working either the overnight shift or the early shift that nobody else wants.
Right.
So go ahead, see if they're gonna fire me because I don't give you your little donut and coffee, whatever. Go ahead. The dead look in her eyes said everything of I give 0 fucks about you and this job. Do what you gotta do. I love it.
And he had the nerve to record that shit like he was really gonna do something.
Right.
She probably got a promotion, asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So
He lucky it was Waffle House, he wouldn't have walked out of there.
Oh shit. With Waffle House, he would have been hit with a spatula of hot grease. So with that, we want to thank you for joining us for this special social media showcase on Friday. It will air next week. We'll have a real show. It's pointless for me to say that it will air on Friday because y'all already watching it at this point. So we will see you next week, fresh and early. We're going to have another special guest. We're going to be doing the 1619 Project again and carrying our Black History monthage into overdrive. I'm actually going to be in Texas for this next coming week's show. So we'll be closer on time zones, Joy.
Yes, that'll be awesome.
Right.
And thank you for hanging with us. Hope you found some of this entertaining. We will check back like Saturday and see if y'all commented on a pre-recorded thing and just make sure we, continue to engage with y'all just in case. But I'm interested to see if Anthony is still the first one in the room.
Right.
No, this was a pre-recorded video.
And if I'm at the airport, I may even be able to show comments. But I don't know right now. It might run comment free. So but y'all in the community, y'all know how it is. And so
by the time they hear us say this, it would have already happened.
That's right. So bye.